have some delicious butter chicken. Oh no, it's jizz again.
Oh.
Like, you drank some more of our jizz.
And I would have gotten away with it
Are,
if
are
you
we-
hadn't made me drink your jizz.
are we recording?
I think so.
Do I need to explain the bit? Or we just
I think it's Scooby-Doo, but the villains have to drink
Drink
someone's
their
jizz. Drink the teenager's jizz accidentally, and then they get away with it. That's the... Instead of being spooky.
For 3 months.
Yeah.
I would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for you meddling kids. Like, drink this. Oh no.
Very
That's
good.
old man cum drinker at the old abandoned amusement park.
No, the thing is that the whole point of the Scooby-Doo episode is to make the villain drink their jizz, and then they win somehow, and they run away from town.
Who's the real villain then? I think it's probably the Scooby-Doo gang.
I think so. I think they are. The tables have turned.
Like, they just drive around in their van,
Uh-huh.
making people drink jizz.
Mm-hmm.
Just probably putting the mask on them in the first place to take off, and then just pour it down their throat.
Here's another way. Here's another scenario. What if it's you know how like He-Man when I think you understand where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
He pulls a sword out and he's like, I have the power, but then when he goes to Battle Cat, he you understand the bit.
He makes Battle Cat drink his jizz.
Oh, he comes on Battle Cat's face.
You know, I know it's kind of like a hack thing to say, but
Yeah.
like, He-Man was gay, right?
No, he was straight.
He just gets up there and he's like, fabulous powers were afforded to me when I held aloft my magic sword.
I don't think he says it in that quite the voice. He says it in the regular voice.
One thing I always loved about that intro though is like after he introduces himself, he punches you, the viewer, in the face. You remember that? Just like fucking.
Yes, unnecessary. Why are you hitting me, man? I'm watching you.
You told me who you were, and what?
Why are you hitting me?
Damn,
This
dude.
is so unnecessary.
Yeah, like punching it's like executive producer Lou Charles or whatever
Yeah.
his fucking name is.
But when I was a kid, I was like, "This is so cool. I'm so glad he hit me."
Hit me again, daddy.
that must maybe because at the time I thought, "Oh, must be what it feels like to be hit by He-Man," which is it's fine actually. I could take the hit.
You think you could take a hit from He-Man?
Probably not actually.
You ever
He'd
see?
level me.
You ever see the movie they made of that? The live
Masters
action
of the
movie?
Universe
Yeah,
with
with
Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah, and Frank Langella as Skeletor, who's the best part of that whole movie.
Vaguely, I remember it. No, it wasn't any good. I think
No.
they're making I think there's someone's making a remake or something.
Yeah, they're doing another one. I love the original movie. It's a piece of shit, but I like it a lot.
Yeah.
Like the entire
Because if I remember correctly, the problem with the original Masters of the Universe was is the whole point of He-Man. The fun part about He-Man is the transformation,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, he's like
You want to
this-
see the surgery.
He's like this nerdy little
Uh-huh.
fucking skinny dude, and then he gets his gender affirming magic sword.
He gets his gender affirming care,
from
and
the
then you
sorcerers.
want to see the whole transition take place.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
if he was He-Man the whole time, it'd be boring,
yeah, exactly.
right?
Yeah, he's the secret identity is the point, right?
The transformation, that whole that's the whole. You
Yeah,
know,
and then he
that's exactly
then he zaps his like scared stupid cat and he turns into Battle Cat. Cringer.
cringer.
Yeah.
You and I have a sort of Battle Cat. I'm a sort of He-Man figure. Do you look at me?
How so?
Huh?
How so?
I'm sort of a ripped Indian gay man, and you're.
He-Man's Indian.
He has a
is
bowl
it the bowl
cut.
cut?
He
Yeah.
has the bowl cut.
just
And
those-
he's wearing a little sort of cloth around his.
Fabulous powers were afforded to
Oh,
me.
come on, please don't do the voice.
I'd say like our thing is more like you're Skeletor and I'm Beastman. Men should have rules. You're a father of 4. You're watching wrestling. Well, father
This
too.
is
but-
true. This is.
Ah.
What is Beastman? What is that? I
He's like-
imagine.
And then he'd say
He's sort of
something
a
stupid.
nondescript-
Like, that's me. Like, I'd.
Yeah.
and then just say something confidently dumb.
Skeletor, I don't know where they are. I was just playing with my Pokemon and.
Shut your fucking mouth! You're a man! You have 2 children! You're 41 years old!
I don't know what this has to do with fighting He-Man. He's Russian.
Let's look at yourself! Take account of your life! Go to the gym! You fat fuck! What are you talking about? Where's my candy sandwich?
I feel like you've you're giving the listeners a false impression of what our
you're-
dynamic is like. I feel like I'm sort of lifting you up in a sort of He-Man, Battle Cat sort of way, and you've sort of flipped the tables on me and turned
Russ,
me into this
The villains,
babbling shrill idiot.
I made us
and
cooler.
his-
The villains were always the coolest.
You think the villains are always, I suppose, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, who else? Like, the Master of the Universe, He-Man's cool, sure. Man-at-Arms, but who else you got? Fisto? What's his thing? He's got a fist.
What is the sexy girl? There was a sexy Evelyn.
Yeah, Evelyn. Yeah. And like her...
Maybe you and I are sort of a Skeletor and Evelyn.
I don't know if I like where that's going.
That there's some sort of sexual tension.
Let me see your ass!
So when you came into the apartment, I asked you to do something, and what is NBA Countdown sponsored by DoorDash?
Oh,
go on, baby. Sorry, I'm sure it's not
might
exclusively
surprise
owned by
you.
Indian people, but
it might surprise you to hear this, but DoorDash isn't an Indian company.
yeah.
Like everyone in the executive room, like we need to sponsor the NBA Countdown. I love the Detroit Nuggets.
I deliver nuggets to lots of women, also in Detroit. Yeah, I asked you a question and you were sort of dead against it. And
Yeah, I'm not sniffing your shorts.
why?
I
Because
don't know.
we walked in and I asked you, what did I say?
Oh, look, a white guy.
What?
Yeah, that guy's white. Look at him. He's all gangly looking.
They're all gangly.
Yeah, but like it looks more natural for the not white basketball players. White guy playing basketball looks weird, almost 100% of the time. Larry Bird looked weird to me.
Oh, because you're deeply racist because you think that only certain. Whatever.
No, I don't think that black people are like necessarily
Oh,
better. I think
Brian,
white people
don't
are
say that.
worse.
Not on
at
Juneteenth.
sports. Except maybe hockey.
Lacrosse,
Yeah, the whites can play lacrosse, but
cricket.
well, yeah, cricket. Cricket's like white and brown, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of really good Indian cricket players.
Yeah, there are lots of there are lots of Hawaiians as well. Australians are great at cricket.
Yeah, and like
The English,
you know,
yeah.
English. I think that's a bigger sport in the UK than soccer is. Like when I was over there.
No.
Well, people,
No, incorrect. Incorrect.
It seemed like more people. Like I only got shushed over a cricket game at a restaurant. So, like we went into a pizza place and there was a cricket match on, and like Dad went to order and the guy shushed him.
Oh,
And then when the
that's an odd thing.
and then when the commercial break came on, he took her order.
They must have been playing Test cricket or something.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It seemed like it was always on. Like
Were
all
they all
hours.
wearing white?
Yeah,
that they were playing test match then. They must have been playing at Lord's. But even then, cricket doesn't require silence. You can kind of look at... Anyway, whatever.
Yeah, like, you don't have to be quiet for baseball.
Yeah, it doesn't require silence to understand what's going on. Because it's just, the commentators being very English. Shane Warne, the master spin bowler, comes up to the wicket. Just...
Like
in the inseam, knocks it away to the boundary. 6 runs.
Yeah, I don't understand that sport at all.
It's not very hard. But, so, you said when you walked in, and I asked you, would you like to take a sniff of my swimming trunks that were drying on the couch?
Yeah, and I said
no.
no.
You said you denied. You said no.
No, thank you.
Why?
Why would I?
Because it's interesting.
What's interesting about it? Does your crotch smell different? Does it smell like buttered chicken?
No, but maybe it's a way for us to get closer.
By me sniffing your crotch?
Yeah.
By the way, the buttered chicken remark is that goes back to a joke before we started recording, where we said let jizz in a microwave smell like buttered chicken. I'm not racist.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to quickly point that out.
No, you said that because I asked you if you wanted a drink and thought it would be funny if I came up to you and instead of a glass of juice handed you full glass of my own ejaculate. But I'd put it in the microwave before just to be polite.
Yeah, because you don't want cold jizz.
No. And there were sort of flies buzzing around it. And then I
like
force
the
of you.
the flies came in because it was warm. It came in out from the cold and
Yeah, they're buzzing around, and so Brian was being disgusting and racist because he said that if I microwaved my own jizz because of my heritage, it would suddenly smell like butter chicken and have the texture of it as well.
No, it's not because you're Indian. It's because that was the strongest smelling food I could think of at the time.
Oh, right. Oh, is that the reason? And then I would make you forcibly drink it.
Well, what would my jizz smell like? Like a warmed up Hershey bar? Like.
Oh, yeah, nice. You get to have a nice tasting one.
Or does it smell like a half-eaten peanut butter sandwich fished out of the garbage?
Yeah.
A wet one?
So you don't want to drink. All right, you don't want to smell my. You don't want to smell my underpants or drink my jizz, which is just the level of insult.
Is that something you require of anyone that visits your humble home, that they drink?
No,
your
I
jizz
require it just of you, Brian. Just so I'm trying to show you, be hospitable to you, and you throw my hospitality right to my face.
Is this like in movies where someone visits a tribe and they're presented with I don't know, bugs for dinner, and it would be insulting if they didn't.
A sort of Indiana Jones scenario,
yeah,
Temple of Doom.
I didn't
scenario.
want to say that.
Of course, that's what you were thinking.
But now that you brought it up, you're saying you're offering this to me like monkey brains.
Yeah.
And if I don't sniff your crotch, you're gonna send me to the mines where I'll have my heart stolen from me by Mola Ram.
We haven't done this in a while, Brian.
Yeah, no, it's so I guess life stuff got in the way. Your folks were in town. How was that?
It's interesting. Because I left when I was a boy. I was 19 years old.
Yeah.
And my mother is, however old she is. She's in her late 60s. And, when you leave as a boy, you your brain gets locked in the stage that you were, that you left at a little bit. So I feel like mentally I'm still 19 to a certain extent when I'm around her.
Oh, okay.
So
you're cutting or?
Huh?
You're cutting?
No, there was many times that I was like, Mom, you just don't understand.
Slam your door and turn on Evanescence.
Yeah. I just need some time to myself. And she's just been she's just been in the city for like less than a day. She's like, I just need. It's like, what am I saying?
Then all
I
of a
don't need
sudden, like, you slam the door and she hears, work me up, work
that.
me up.
Yeah. Um. I had to really try to rein it in. Just rein the teenager in. It's so easy because you think. Because Brian, you see all these books everywhere. I got all of these books.
Yeah,
I
you
read
got
all of
some
the
books.
and you think, you read the books, you find out the things, you get the education, and you're just not going to be. You're not going to be that little boy, that little friggin' neurotic child.
Yeah,
And
what would Ulysses S. Grant do?
one tiny little, one tiny little thing. Excuse me. Oof. Burped right into the mic. Disgusting. One tiny little comment from my mom. And she's like, we were taking the rent-a-car. And she's like, Arif, we just got in the car. And I'm starting to drive out of the parking lot. She said, we need to make sure the lady said when we return it that the gas is full. I said, Mom, we have the car for 3 weeks. I will make sure that the gas tank is full. Why are you yelling?
She said, like, immediately when she got here, she's like, gas tank, I won't do the voice because it's your mom.
Mm-hmm.
Gas tank needs to be full.
Mm-hmm.
Like, immediately right away.
I just put the key in the car. I just turned the ignition on as I was pulling out of the car parking lot.
Like, what did she think you were going to do? Like, just cut a hole in the floor and, like, Flintstones it for the 3 weeks so the gas doesn't go down ever? Just yabba dabba doo, and then you just run to, like, McDonald's to get a spicy chicken sandwich?
I think she has a lot of I think I have some sort of anxious tendencies. And sort of I have, and maybe that's sort of like her as well,
Yeah.
I've inherited some sort of anxious tendencies about making sure, you do the right things. If you do the right things and you don't fuck up, it'll be, they won't send you back to home,
Yeah.
So, and, yeah, it was just interesting, being this old and,
How'd that manifest when you were with your parents and your daughter at the same time?
well, you just like, I have to, because I left when I was a teenager. I'm acting like a teenager. I'm trying to control her, or I'm trying to not be the angry parent.
Yeah.
So you have to like be.
You're a teen trying to regulate a teen.
Well, trying to manage two sort of strange cultures. Like they don't understand. They don't They can't. It's impossible to, because I can't understand.
Yeah.
Young teenage culture,
No one in any like part of the world, teenagers are a fucking mystery.
Yeah, and
I'm gonna have one on my hands like this year,
in
November, like officially, and already like he's still kind of like he's a funny kid. He swears all the goddamn time now.
Really?
Yeah, never. It doesn't bother me because I know he doesn't do it in public. I know he knows like when it's appropriate and when it isn't. Mm-hmm. But like, yeah, when I'm talking to him and if I'm playing games with him or something like that, he'll just like go right off like it's fucking bullshit. And like then like I'm finding myself at a bit of a conflict because like for one I don't want to like get in there because like it doesn't bother me, but it feels like it should bother me. You know what I mean? Like I'm caught between like my own personal boundaries and what I feel societally is accepted of me. So I try and go in through that in between. I don't like admonish him. I try and calm him down. Like try and like this isn't a big deal. Like just try and like be jokey about it or whatever. But yeah, like I don't know. It's such a weird thing because like the way I was brought up, like if I did that around my parents, I wouldn't see the outside of my room for like months.
They would punish you.
Yeah. But like I don't see it as like knowing that what he's like like in public, what he's like in other spaces, because he's like a sweet, polite, nice, well-mannered kid, versus like what he's like when it's just him and me.
Yeah.
Which and it's never out of like he's not angry at me. He's not, like attacking me with it or anything like that. He's just kind of, like swearing, like freely. And it's also kind of funny too, because I remember like not that long ago, like a couple of years, like he would, like me, him, and his mom would be hanging out, and he'd be talking about a word he heard on the playground, and he'd like, "Can I say it?" And she's like, "Go ahead," and he goes, "Fuck."
Right.
Yeah, and now he's like, "Fucking bullshit, fucking this fucking game."
He wanted to say it. Why did he want to say it?
Well, you mean when he was like shy?
Yeah.
Because he had questions about it.
Oh, he was.
That was
like,
when
I
he
heard a letter. I heard someone say this on the playground, and can I ask you? So, what is the context with which he?
Yeah, he's just like, basically telling us about this word he heard one of the other kids say, but he wanted to tell us the word. He just wasn't sure that he was allowed to, because like that's a story to him at that age. That was a couple of years ago. Like somebody said, "Fuck, that's crazy. That's fucking that's nuts,"
Right.
And so he was telling us this story. And then he was shy to say it because he knew that it was a bad word. And then we gave him permission to say it. And he just kind of, like, I just try to remember laughing at it just and being like, fuck.
Yeah.
But now it's just liberal and all over the place. But he doesn't do it in public. I don't know. It doesn't bother me, but it feels like it should bother me, if that makes any sense. I mean, like he's.
It makes sense. I mean, but it's like
he's going to be a teenager
the should
next
part.
year.
Is like the should is from. I guess that's the one that you would, I guess, question yourself about. What is the feeling of?
I mean, he's going to be 13 next year. He's going to be a teenager. Teenagers swear.
Right, but there is an interesting style of way of looking at parenting in that sort of fashion. Well, they're going to do that anyway, so might as well just let them do it. And
it's not something severe. Like he's not out getting drunk,
right?
Doing drugs or anything like that. Like it's not a severe thing. And yeah, like I wouldn't be the parent to be like, well, you might as well drink in my house. I wouldn't do that. I'd still want to be the one that he felt comfortable calling to pick him up when he makes a mistake, because he's going to make a mistake. Kids make mistakes. And I don't want him to feel like I'm going to like fucking grind him down into dust if he calls to me to help him out of a jam. But like swearing doesn't seem like as big a deal to me in comparison to what it could be,
Sure, yeah. I guess so, yeah. Yeah, it's all very specific, right? Like parenting is kind of, you think that, there's some sort of guideline that most people have, and that the other end, if you follow the guideline at the other end, they'll turn out okay. But then, it goes either way. Like, it's not. So much of it, I feel like being a parent is like intuitive, and the only real rule I think one should follow is, make sure your child gets some 8 hours of sleep, and keep them off the phone.
Yeah,
Those two things seem to be the only.
Yeah, make sure they get enough rest. They're going to school and they don't die.
Yeah, don't die. That's the only thing. Yeah, that's the only real. And not even even in school, like there's no I don't know. There's no guarantee that going to university is going to make you come out at the other end as a sane person or intelligent person or anything like that.
I don't even necessarily think like that's up to him once he gets to that point. I want him to, and I think any parent should want their kids to get all the way through like high school at least.
Right.
Get that base, and then they decide what they want for themselves after that. But that's up to him. I'm not gonna force him one way or another. If he wants to go to school, I'll do what I can to support him. If he doesn't, well, he'll figure it out.
Yeah, fair enough. So you still don't want to drink jizz or smell my swimming trunks.
That's a
What about my trousers?
hell of a callback.
What about my trousers?
No, I don't want to smell any crotches. Not yours, not John's, not anyone's. I don't want to smell anyone's crotches.
So now, if we were in this if we were in a tough situation where we had this sort of choice, right? You had to smell.
Well, like there's a gun to my head or a gun to my loved one's
There's a
head, or-
choice now. This is
Sophie's
a
choice?
choice. Yes, you have to either smell my underwear, smell my swimming trunks, and drink a thimble of jizz, or watch me do crowd work for 30 seconds.
All right, just pass the thimble. I guess. Let's. Do I need to take a deep breath? No, I'm kidding. You're good at crowd work.
Brian.
You know that'd be great
Brian.
if that's what Sophie's Choice was actually about. Like the German officer brings her out, and he's like, Sophie,
Yeah.
this is your choice. You can either watch me murder your children, all of them, or you can drink a thimble of jizz and smell my Nazi crotch. And then she spends the entire 3-hour movie trying to decide. I haven't seen Sophie's Choice.
I don't think that's the.
I don't know if it's obvious.
Yeah.
But I haven't even. I know what that movie's about. I never seen it.
Yeah, I think it's
just
got to
assumed
do
that
with.
movie was just Meryl Streep for like 2.5 hours being like, I don't know, like that one, like sometimes he talks back to me, but that one over there, like he keeps stealing my shoes.
Yeah. And we're back. I know the podcast has been gone a while, but boy, are we ever back.
I watched Rocky 5 not that long ago. Have you
Okay.
seen that in a while?
That's the one where he trains the little boy and then the boy beats him up.
Well, he's not a little boy.
I mean, the guy,
Tommy
teenager.
Gunn, yeah, who was an actual boxer. But there's a moment in that movie I forgot about, and like I've been sitting on this for like the 3 weeks or however long it's been.
Right.
But there's a press conference that they have for Tommy Gunn where he's like talking about fighting for the World Heavyweight Championship. And basically it's just the press just ripping him to shreds. Like they're like, hey Tommy Gunn, hi, this is Johnny Noville from the ABC Weekly News.
Johnny Noville.
I'm
He
just
was
making up
thinking
names.
Knoxville, and he just took
He's
out
like-
the X.
Anyways, this is a question about your girlfriend. How come she's such a slut? Like,
Hey, what the hell are you saying, buddy?
Bobby Tennerman, CNN. How come you'll never
Bobby.
be as good as Rocky?
What the fuck? What the hell kind of press conference is this?
But yeah, like literally, like one of them's like, "How come your girlfriend's a slut?"
Well, I don't know. I mean, yeah. Well, yeah, he brings his girlfriend. Well, maybe that's a question you should put for her.
Well, when I'm talking to a guy and he's got a lot of money, Paulie showed up at every one of Rocky's press conferences for no reason. What does he do? You remember Paulie in the Rocky movies? Like
No.
where the fisherman's hat just complained about like everything wherever like whenever they would bring him somewhere, like in Rocky 2 when they brought him to LA, he's like, "It's fucking hot here, Rock. I can't stand
He's
this
his friend.
shit."
He's just part of his entourage.
Yeah, like he's Adrian's brother.
Yeah.
But he's at every press conference.
He's just a big fan. Yeah, it makes no sense. I don't think. So he defeats him at the end. Why
Yeah.
are they mean to him?
Oh no, it's even dumber than that because like they basically goose him up because talking about how he's not like anything like Rocky. So then Tommy Gunn goes to the bar that Rocky's at with news cameras, and then gets into a street fight.
With Rocky.
Yeah, in the parking lot of the bar with like news cameras covering it. It's the dumbest. That movie sucks.
Yeah. That's like the 80s version of World Star. Just following
World Star.
a retarded
Hey,
man.
World Star.
Yeah.
Like the
He's
rest
just
of those
pointing
movies are like good to great. Rocky V's a piece of fucking shit.
Right.
It's like fucking Sports Illustrated covering a bar street fight.
Yeah, makes no sense. I don't know. I'll have to watch it again. What else did you watch?
Watched Friendship the other night. You saw that, right?
I did. Yeah, it's very funny.
Man, what a couple of people to fucking put against each other. Like two completely different styles.
Yeah, Paul Rudd and that's a very funny movie. That's like one of the funniest movies I've seen in a long time.
It's like
a friend told me was telling me that this is like a it's very cringe comedy. It's very cringy, it's very uncomfortable comedy. But I was like, maybe I've just sort of maybe once you're in stand up and you're in that world for so long, or maybe you just have very horrible friends that each and every one of his outbursts. What's his name? Tim Robinson.
Tim Robinson. Or you mean his character's name?
Yeah.
Craig.
Yeah. Every one of Craig's outbursts is a reminder of something. Like when Craig keeps going, the new Marvel is going to be sick.
It's gonna be nuts.
It's gonna be nuts. No spoilers. He kicks people out of his
this
own
garage
apartment.
is a no Marvel spoiler zone. Get the fuck out.
No spoilers.
What is going on?
So funny.
Man, that kind of turned into a horror movie a little bit as well too after like the midway point. When
Yeah.
Like the thing with his wife too, where they're like wandering the sewers and then he just like leaves her and she's trapped there for like like 3 days.
I mean, the fact that it opens with "I've not been able to have an orgasm," and then he goes, I had no problem having an orgasm. And nobody laughs. Nobody laughs. Oh, bombing a joke like that is so funny, man. I was with my daughter I was taking her and her friend to lunch, and they were talking about all of these Canadian celebrities going nuts. All these celebrities going nuts. 11 and Drake or whatever. Like we talk about Stranger Things, and then what's that 11's name?
Oh,
Millie Bobby Brown.
Yeah, Millie Bobby Brown. Yeah.
Something about Drake. And I was like,
because he was like texting her when she was a child, asking her about boys she likes. That's weird, right?
Yeah, or something. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And I was trying to be a dad, and I was like, oh, this is what happened. This is, fame isn't a good thing. Being online and being famous and all of this kind of stuff is bad. Clearly, look at them; they're all crazy.
Yeah.
And no one survives. Even Justin Bieber. Look at him now. He's kind of gone nuts.
Oh yeah, he's completely off the rails. Just had a kid too.
And Sarah goes, and my daughter goes, yeah, Bieber too. And I said, yeah, you used to listen to his music when you were a baby. Oh
no.
And she's like, oh God. I mean, her sheer disgust at how horrible the part was.
Like, did you hear the words while they came out of your mouth? Like in your brain, you're like, "Oh, this is a good one."
Well, I mean, there was something about, and I knew it was horrible as it was coming, but
yeah, you were hoping that she appreciated the cringe of it.
The fact that it was genuinely horrific that her father would say that in the company of her friend.
Like that's you like saying I'm orgasming fine.
And then I tried to do another one where she's like, "Dad, can you put on this song?" And it's like some whatever. I think it was Noah Khan, and I said, Sahara, no, I can't listen to this song anymore.
Oh my god. Holy fucker.
Oh, that one really, that one really ate it.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. You can see Arif was saying live.
Oh, she hated it so much, man. Oh God,
I don't know.
It
I
was
actually kind of like that one.
it was so bad. They hated it. Oh man, it made me so happy.
He's got
Just,
one song I like. I like that Stick Season song.
Okay.
I don't know what it's about, but it's folksy.
Anyway, so going back to friendship, I was like, maybe I've turned the corner. Maybe the I've been so many sort of cringe losers that it just makes me. Yeah, that kind of stuff just makes me smile, man. You know, where I mean, just the sadness of trying to make a new friend in his 40s. I'm assuming he's 40.
Yeah, I mean, he looks 45.
And he's trying to be cool, like he's trying to be Mr. Punk Rock after.
And he walks into the glass sliding door.
Oh my God. He pretends that it hasn't happened.
Oh, that whole thing, he knocks the guy out when they're like boxing, and then puts the soap in his mouth.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
I'm a bad boy.
Why are you doing? Man, I watched that. I was like yelling at the. I was like, "Why are you doing?" It's so unnecessary.
Oh, my favorite part of that, because like I watched his sketch show too, so I know like some of the side characters, but the Connor O'Malley character, the guy that came in when he was like fiddling around on his drums, and he starts yelling at him about like he's like, I would love to have your wife even as a non-sexual partner, like a business partner. And then he starts giving that speech later where he's like, and I think we should have never pulled out of Afghanistan. I don't even know why we did that.
Yeah. And he's just, Craig's just upset at him for hogging the speech time at the party. Well, there's an order. We have to. Oh, it's very funny. Very, very funny.
He gets up and
I
he
hope
does
we
the
haven't
like,
ruined all of the
parade
jokes.
thing, and then gets outside and he's like, fucking rats.
Yeah, it's very funny. Go watch it. It's on Amazon, I think, or something.
Yeah, it's I think right now, like technically you have to rent it, but you won't soon.
Yeah.
It'll be on something. It's very funny.
Yeah. Funniest probably.
I also saw this documentary that came out on Netflix. I think yesterday, maybe the day before.
Yeah.
About my favorite mayor of all time, the former mayor of Toronto, Rob Ford.
Yeah.
There's a lot about that mess that I didn't remember.
Like what?
Well, for one thing, when they found the video, which by the way, when like the video came out,
Rob Ford
smoking crack,
yeah. Right?
But like someone approached someone at the Toronto Sun, got them in a car, drove them out to the middle of nowhere, wouldn't let them have the phone, and showed them the video, and said like, you can have this for $100,000. They of course refused because they're like actual journalists. But like later on when they found that video, because like he denied it up and down the whole time, right? And then they even showed like one of his higher ups that worked in his office. He called him. He's like, Rob, I don't know, man. They say there's this video of you smoking crack, and his answer was, oh no, there was. Trust me, there's no video. Like, not that he wasn't doing it, just
but
like,
there's no video, right?
But like when they found the video, the cops did a raid on a like a known gun runner, and amongst like AK-47s, cocaine, drugs, and all this shit, they found the phone with the video.
What? So was it a smartphone or was it like a flip phone or what?
It was it was a smartphone. They had smartphones around them by the time the video came out.
Right, but then how do they unlock it?
They didn't go into that much detail about that, but like they had the video, and he ended up having to like admit to it and everything else. But
how do they know there's a video on a phone? Like they just see a phone. How do they know there's a video on a phone? They just go through the things.
They must have just went through the phone.
Right.
But there were more videos. Do you remember that there were other videos eventually that came out?
Of him smoking crack?
Not just that. Like the one that I'm thinking of that I forgot about is him at a Burger King, drunk as hell, doing a Jamaican accent.
What?
Like literally, like just him being like, "Oh, I don't know, man. I airy bumbleclad."
There is maybe he, maybe he was just trying to ingratiate himself, but he wasn't doing it probably in a hateful manner.
No, he was just Rob Ford doing a Jamaican accent.
But he was around Jamaican people at the time, right?
I mean, he was in a Burger King in Toronto.
He was in a
so
Burger
probably.
King. For some reason, I thought it was a Jamaican restaurant, but it's just Burger King.
Of a sort.
I guess you could call that a kind of Jamaican restaurant.
But like, also like some of the other like you probably would have remembered this one, but when someone accused him, one of the other cabinet members accused him of like wanting to give her sexual intercourse, like give her head, and he's like, she fucking what's her face said, want to eat her pussy. I'm not eating her pussy. I got plenty to eat at home. And they showed the live reaction of the newsroom. And, like, the girl for CP24 is just, like, choking back tears and laughter. And she's like, well, that's some language that we can't repeat, but we just aired it. Oh, and,
I'm not going to eat her pussy. Her plenty.
And, like, as things went on, they couldn't remove him as mayor until, like, they were able to have an actual vote on it. But they removed his mayoral powers.
Yeah.
And after they voted on removing that, he got up and he said, this reminds me of when Saddam Hussein invaded Kuwait. And right now, you guys are Iraq. And I'm Kuwait.
I mean, yeah.
Like that guy was.
He does have a point. He does have a way with words, that man, or did have a way with. He's dead now, right?
Oh yeah, no, he's long dead. He died running for another council seat, actually.
Right. What happened to him? Like, what was the?
Oh, what did he die of?
Yeah,
Cancer.
Heart attack, cancer.
Yeah.
Damn.
Unrelated to the crack. I think he was. I think he was on the road to being clean and sober at that point, But like they even show like his dad was a politician, and I think his dad was like, you remember the video of the guy in like the House of Commons that's like, come down here, buddy, and I'll give you a piece of my fucking fist, like that guy. That was Rob and Doug Ford's dad.
Wow. There was a St. John guy, LeBlanc. What was his name? I'll give you some of this, and I'll give you some of this.
Oh, fuck, who did a bit about him recently? It was
Kelly.
Yeah, Kelly.
What was his name? Do you remember that guy?
I just know him from the bit. I didn't.
Yeah, he gave someone the finger, or something like that.
Yeah, give you some of this,
and I'll give you some of that. But there was no cracks. I mean, Rob Ford is that year was a very like that was the peak of or at least not the peak. It was when it was the internet was all becoming like.
It was like,
isn't it
like the infancy of Facebook being like popular and stuff. Like
yeah,
that.
the kind of sort of latent like edgelordism kind of was starting at that point.
Yeah. Tip of
and
the
then,
iceberg. He even did the thing Donald Trump does where he like shits on the media and tries to turn the people against them. Like the entire time they were coming at him about the crack video, he's like, this is just the liberal media trying to take me down a peg. The media, that's the enemy. Like basically just going on like that, and then eventually being like, yes, I did smoke crack cocaine.
That's you
Probably in one of my drunken stupors. He said it this way. One of my drunken stupors.
What is the documentary? So was he always smoking? Like, why the crack? How did he end up smoking crack like that? What was the story behind that?
Well, they didn't like get into like whether or not he was addicted to crack so much, just that he was an addict. Like He's obviously an alcoholic. They also told another story where he came back in from like a weekend in Vegas to like an emergency cabinet meeting. But when he showed up, he like had like his fucking collar popped up and his suit was all disheveled. And one of the counselors tried to make him leave, so he fought him. And that made the news.
He fought. Wow.
Yeah, like drunkenly fought a city councilor.
Perfect.
But like if I remember right, like he did run Toronto pretty well.
Did
like,
he?
For being a guy who was drunk and high all the time, like some sort of fucking like Mr. Leahy, like he ran that city okay.
Yeah.
Like the reason he got elected was because of the garbage strike. Like, you remember hearing about that? Like,
well, I remember the garbage strike. I just don't remember that. What? So what were the specifics of
well,
it?
just like
So the garbage. So the union went on strike.
and
no
the
one
trash
there.
was like building it. Like they would talk to one
in
of the
Toronto,
reporters.
right? There was stank like garbage, right?
Yeah, like they talked to one of the reporters, I think from the Toronto Sun, and or no, the Toronto Star, and she said like she had to take rocks with her in the morning to throw at raccoons so she could get into her car. Like that's how bad it had gotten.
For how long had it gotten?
A few months, if I remember right.
And it was just people's garbage bags were just piled up on the street.
Yeah, nobody was taking them because the garbage union went on strike.
And
I
it
don't
was the
remember
middle of
how
summer, was it?
resolved, But yeah.
Toronto summer, fuck.
Yeah,
So
like if
hot.
you've ever been in Toronto during the summer, that
I
shit
have.
sucks.
It's very, very hot.
Yeah.
It's very unpleasant, and this is coming from a person who's lived in the desert. I've been forged in the hot sands.
What would
Of
you
the
say is
deep
worse, the
desert.
sands of Abu Dhabi or?
I didn't live in Abu Dhabi. I lived in Dubai.
Yeah, that's the other one.
Yeah, you just said Abu Dhabi because it's a part of an action movie series that you've been watching,
No,
and they have
that's
Abu
in,
Dhabi in it.
That's in Dubai.
Don't lie.
The Burj
No, there's
Khalifa is in
Abu Dhabi.
Dubai, isn't it?
No, but the Abu Dhabi is one of the airports where the last Mission Impossible was in, and they say Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, but I thought you were
You're a
thinking of
racist.
because I
You're
watched.
You're doing online
I
racism now.
I watched Ghost Protocol even more recently.
You're trying to do edgy online racism, aren't you? You're trying to do edgy. You're trying
Did
to
you
do
see
edgy.
that new Mission Impossible movie?
No, not the new one. Not the one. I didn't see the. I saw the last one.
Oh, okay, yeah, the
Part
Dead
one.
Reckoning.
Where he jumps off the cliff with a motorcycle.
Oh yeah, and then they have that train sequence, man.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that was so good.
Was that a real train they did that on?
I don't think so.
Oh.
Like the way that it was falling, like the motorcycle stunt, that was real.
That's real.
And when you see the new one, man, there's a stunt in like a
the
biplane.
Oh yeah.
That like it's an actual plane. Like I don't know how that man's fucking insurable.
He's 60 years old.
Matter of fact, I'm watching him do this at 60, and I'm thinking like I don't know, maybe Scientology's for me.
I think so.
Like maybe there's something to that. Because I'm like going the way I'm going. I'm not hanging out of a biplane at 60. You know, I'm gonna be hanging on to a triple bypass.
Oh, come on now. No, I can't listen to
eating
those
my,
jokes anymore.
Third candy McRibwich.
Mm.
Oh, maybe I need to get the Thetans out.
Mm-hmm. It's maybe all the burgers you were having since you were a baby have been a problem.
I didn't eat burgers as a baby. Can you imagine? Like my mom refused to breastfeed me. She just crammed fucking McDoubles in my face. Don't even have teeth yet, and I'm just sucking the grease off them.
Yeah.
I'm loving it.
Yeah, poor Rob Ford.
Yeah, no, he's a character. You kind of see a little bit of that in Doug. Doug's obviously more reined in, but like when I think of like last summer, for instance, you remember the LCBO strike, and he in the middle of the LCBO strike, he films a commercial where he's grilling on the barbecue, and he's like, "We created a website of all the other stores you could buy beer in." Like, wow, what an asshole! But this is really funny. Just grilling burgers, being like, fuck that union.
Yeah. I mean, suppose that would appeal to Toronto people. I don't know. That kind of. Yeah, what the fuck? We just let's get on with it. That sort of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And well, maybe it's just a sign of that specific period, or just a. Yeah, it was it's a marker of that of a few years of
Well, it's also
Canadian culture, which was just I don't know what is it about Toronto that makes that that kind of maybe it's that whether I don't know whether it's that city that specifically that kind of stuff works in.
Well, he was also like he did have another side to him because they showed a story that Doug told at his funeral, and this is the kind of guy that Rob was like on the other side of things as well too. But he went to Mr. Sub, and there was a guy on the phone taking an order, and he's like, I got no way of getting these subs out, and then Mayor of the time, Rob Ford, offered to do the deliveries for him. And he went to all these people's places and delivering the subs, and he's like, and I got a tip too.
Wow.
Yeah, the reason he was so beloved because he was beloved right through that whole thing, right up until the end, to the point where he actually did win his race for town councilor.
Yeah, they didn't care about any of the.
Yeah, because he actually did get down and try to help people.
Yeah.
He did the same liberal media.
Sure.
Blah 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 thing as well too, but Doug's like that as well. They're conservative, but they're not Trump conservative.
I mean, I don't even think that Trump is a conservative.
I don't know what
really
the hell he is.
It's sort of
no new wars.
There's
right?
more chaos. Yeah, I mean, that war thing is the odd. I don't, oddly, I'm actually. Anyway, whatever. But anyway, there's no way to pin him down ideologically because he doesn't think ideologically.
He doesn't have an ideology.
He doesn't. It's all chaos, and it's this is a narcissist. So it's not. You can't really pin down. It's more psychological than it is ideological. But
do you think Iran has nukes?
Yes.
Yeah. I know
you don't go from 3% to 60% enriching uranium to not get a nuke, and you don't build a gigantic atomic plant underneath a mountain if you're not trying to hide something.
Right.
So it's obvious they do. Yes, they 100% they did. They always do, and they say they did. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I know they were working towards it, but I was just wondering if they actually had gotten there. But yeah, you make a good point.
But what do I know? Would you have any gigs coming up?
Yeah. Trying to remember. We got that one where you're going to be headlining, and
oh yeah,
Fredericton and Rustico.
In July.
Yeah, I gotta send her my bio, my.
You
picture.
still haven't done it.
I'm doing that when I get home.
Yeah.
No Jokes Barred next weekend too.
Next weekend, yeah.
The Water Street Dinner Theater.
Yeah, I will be. Yes. So you're on that?
Yeah. Are you on that too?
No, I will be in Riverview.
Oh yeah, the Riverview review thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that should be a good one.
Scove and Jeff Pennell and Lynn. Yeah, Nick Tompkin is the person who runs it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you on that the campground thing too?
I think so.
All right, sick.
In Sussex.
Yeah, we should bug Ryan for a ride for that ride to and from.
Sure, it'll be fine.
Because I know he's going back anyways, and I would stay out there, but I'm not bringing my CPAP out to Michelle's camp.
Yeah, probably not. No.
No.
You mean Sussex?
Oh, are you on that too?
Yeah.
The one that Josh is putting together?
That's right.
Yeah, no, I'm on that as well.
Okay.
but also the Crystal.
Yeah, Crystal
one.
Beach. Yeah,
Yeah, so both
in August, right?
Yep, August 2nd, and the Josh thing, the one in Sussex, is July 12th,
Sure.
which is also the same night as a Saturday night main event. So I'm sure.
Oh my God! What a crazy Sophie's choice that will be.
I mean, Josh is running it. We'll probably be watching it there quietly, but yeah, no. The campground shows. We got No Jokes Barred. We got the Rustico show coming up. You got the Riverview Review.
Mm-hmm.
Starting to look like a kind of busy summer.
I guess so.
And I'm going to try and get on a mic in Toronto when I go up there.
Why are you going to Toronto?
Dad likes to go on a trip every year. Like, me and my brother and him are going together.
What are
See
you
a
doing?
ball game.
Oh, okay. That sort of thing.
Go to the ROM. I've never been to the ROM.
What's that?
Royal Ontario Museum.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty good.
Nice. How long are you going for?
For, like, 2 days.
Okay.
So, like, and 2 days travel, but yeah.
Flying?
Yep. Yeah, we're flying out of Halifax.
Nice.
Going down, picking up my brother down there, and heading out. This is the first time my brother's gone with us in, like, years, too. So this'll be nice.
Nice, man. All right. Well, until next time.
Yeah, hell yeah. 2 weeks or something like that.
Sure. Bye-bye.
Peace.